Welcome to episode 35 of Pera's Playbook. Today I'm joined by Bailey Tillman of the McNeese women's volleyball team. Bailey, how are you? Thanks for joining me.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's Monday's over. That's always a good thing. You get through the hardest day of the week.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm sure, I don't know, I always remember in college, Mondays were the worst. Getting up for that Monday class was always
Mm.
so hard after a weekend.
Monday slumps, got weights at 5 in the morning, and then you got to go to class. So yeah,
Oh, 5 in the
It's-
morning. That's tough.
hey, it's part of the life, part of the
It
lifestyle, though.
is. Right, exactly. You got to make some sacrifices. Part of the grind.
So, yeah.
So, let's talk about, let's start with talking about your recruiting for a little bit, coming out of high school. I guess a good place to start is when did you start really taking volleyball seriously, like you wanted to take it to the next level? What point in your, youth or high school career did you really kick in and take it seriously?
Yeah, so I actually started when I was 8 years old. I really didn't know like what sport I wanted to play or like I just picked up the volleyball while my sister was at a volleyball camp and I was just like passing along the side and I was like, hey, I'm kind of good at this. And then they asked me if I wanted to join the drill. And I was like, sure. And I ended up serving a ball over the net. Like, no, they didn't teach me anything. They just told me to toss it up in the air and serve it. And I was like, okay. And it just went over. And so then I started when I was 8, and now I'm 20 years old. So been 12 years, going on 13 years playing volleyball. And then all my sisters play too. So that's like having extra people that I can look up to, and then just like watching them grow up as well. So yeah, 8 years old.
Extra people to be competitive with too, I'm sure. I mean,
Oh
sibling
yeah,
rivalry.
for sure. Everything's a competition in the Tillman
Right.
household.
You always want to be better than your siblings.
Yes, yes.
So at what point did you start being noticed by schools?
I actually started being noticed when I was like 9 or 10 because I played I never played my age group. So when I was 8 and I played club, I played with 12 year olds. And so then I just kept going up and I was 8 playing on 13, 9 playing on 13. So I never played with my age group until I got to about 18s and I still had to repeat it twice. I had to repeat 16s twice and 18s twice, but I never really played with my age group unless I had to and until I graduated. So I would say about 9 or 10. I really couldn't talk to the schools yet, obviously. So like I would just get the letters in the mail and I'd just like read them and be like, oh, like I want to go there. That's so cool. But yeah, so 9 or 10, yeah.
So you stumble across volleyball when you're 8, and within a couple years you pick it up pretty quickly. That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you get in the mail, just can't really do anything about it, but it still
Like,
must have been awesome to be recognized, like know you were,
yeah.
somebody wanted you, regardless how young you were.
Yeah. It's definitely something you don't want to take for granted because like, COVID happened and it kind of like messed up like recruitment later on down the road. And like just looking back, like little me would not have thought that I would have gone through that like my senior year. And so like looking back like at 8 and 9, I'm like, oh my God, I'm receiving all these like notices from schools and stuff. And then COVID happened, you're like, I'm not receiving anything. So it's like, so it's like a switch, but I mean, like you go through things for a reason. Like God puts you through things for a reason, and I'm a firm believer in that. So, yeah, I'm grateful for everything that has happened so far.
Yeah, it's all part of the journey.
It is.
So, then what was the, deciding factor for you on McNeese?
hmm Yeah, so it came down to where I was gonna get like a good education and be able to play like volleyball at a high level as well. So considering my major, I'm a major in mass communication with a concentration in sports entertainment, so broadcasting, all of that fun stuff. So I wanted to go where I could like not necessarily like worry about school and like be stressed about school, but also like succeed. Not I wouldn't say easily, but like you know what I mean. Um,
Yeah.
I wanted to just be able to play volleyball at the level I know I could play at, and then also get an education too. So a lot of things came into play, and then also like scholarship wise, what was available for me as a DS libero. Like sometimes you don't get a lot of looks or like money, because let's be honest, like we're the shorter people on the court. So like we're the last people that people recruit. So I mean, it's just the truth. That's just reality. But I ended up getting a full ride at McNeese. So I thought it was like the best opportunity for me, not only as an athlete, but as a person and just like the environment too. I wanted to get away from home, but not too far away. I'm originally from Houston. So it's like 2 hours and 30 minutes away from Houston. So it's not too far and it's not too close either. So,
It's far enough where you can experience new, like living on your own away from your family, but close enough where if you want to go
mhm,
home for a long weekend or, you totally can. You
right.
mentioned that your major, do you want to stay within sports, when you graduate with that major?
Yes, I plan on staying in sports. I recently had an internship with Dell Technologies, but it was in sales. So I did that, just kind of like venture out and try new things. I liked it. So I don't know if I'm gonna stay in sports. But so far I'm loving sports. I've done like a lot of things with our conference, done stuff like you, interviewing other people, and just doing like social media stuff. So we'll see what happens after college. My main thing, I want to play volleyball when I graduate. So let's see where that goes first, and then
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
can
you can
see.
worry about jobs after. You
Yeah,
gotta play your
right.
sports when you're young, and then when you get out of college, you play volleyball for a little bit, and then figure out what you want to do.
Exactly.
So, you come into McNeese and you played in 24 matches. Let's talk about your first career
Mhm.
match. I mean, what were your emotions like before the game? I'm sure you were excited, nervous, kind of a little all of the
Mhm.
above for your first college match. I mean, did it go the way you wanted it to go? Was it super memorable?
Yeah, it was very memorable because we played University of North Texas our first match, and we actually ended up winning. And no one thought that we would be able to beat North Texas because it's like, okay, who is McNeese? Where are they from? Like, we were like the underdog. So I started as libero. I wasn't nervous, but I was just like more anxious and like excited to get on the court because it's like your first college game and you just want to see like how everything is put together and what all those hours of practice is, what you can put on like for a show for other people. So all my emotions were up in the air, but I would say nervous was probably the last one. I was just more excited than nervous though. But we ended up winning, so it turned out great.
Yeah, now you have a good memory. It would be a worse memory if you got your butt whooped or something.
And
What do you think's the hardest like part about college volleyball? Like maybe the hardest thing to adjust to. What was the thing you noticed like when you came and you're like, wow, that's like way different than pre-college.
I would say the schedule because I feel like in high school or like pre-college, everything was so like boom, 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 you have to do this. And I feel like some things were very structured pre-college, and then like you get in college and you're on your own. Like professors aren't gonna reach out if you miss class. They're not gonna call your mom if you miss class. Like you have to be on top of your stuff yourself. Like I utilized a planner probably more in college than in high school, just being honest. And then that's from an educational standpoint, but like from an athletic standpoint, I think just like remembering that volleyball doesn't define you, or like whatever sport you're playing, it does not define you. And I had to come to terms with that just a little bit ago. Like I was dealing with some like mental like confidence issues, and just you just can't let it define you. So I think that kind of took a toll on me. But other than that, pre-college, I kind of just like, it was high school. I played free, played, and it's just like in college, you get here and a lot of things are on the line, like scholarship wise, da, 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 all that stuff. People are looking to see you fail, like they want to see you fail. So you just had to be on your toes like 24/7. So,
Yeah, it's a college athletics. I mean, it's a nasty business in a sense. I mean, there's so much pressure put upon the athletes, and you mentioned the fact of being a student at the same time. You got to balance all this stuff in life. It's hard enough to be a student without the athletics, and then you put that on top of it, and the pressure, and the fact that you've got all these people, all these eyes on you, like you said, waiting for you to make a mistake. And then as soon as you make a mistake, they pounce
Yeah.
like a tiger. Just
Yes. Yeah.
it's crazy, but
It's real. Let me tell you.
it's yeah. But yeah, I don't even know what to say about it, because it's like it's kind of sad that that's the way it is for
Oh
college
yeah.
athletes. It's really pathetic when you think about it, that's the way they're treated in a sense.
Yep. It's like one of my favorite coaches said, like in a game, when you make errors, like people notice your errors more than your like good plays. And that's kind of how it is like in the real world situation. Like they notice when you mess up, but it's like they barely give you credit whenever you're doing something good. So it's as soon as you mess up or do something out of the ordinary, it's like, oh my God, Bailey did this or did that. Not saying that I've done anything out of the ordinary, but unfortunately, that is how it is for some athletes, like the bigger athletes that literally have cameras and all the lights on them 24/7. So, yeah,
Yeah. Maybe it's not just a problem with athletics. Maybe it's a problem with just like the way of the world. Cause like you said, it's like that just in everyday life. Nobody says anything. You can succeed and succeed and succeed, and nobody talks about it until you screw up. And then when you screw up, they don't talk about your
exactly.
successes. They just
Yeah.
point at your failures. So maybe it's not an athletics issue. Maybe it's just a problem with the
It's
way
a
of the world.
yeah,
Yeah.
society issue and generation.
Yeah.
This generation.
Something that needs to be changed. People should be celebrated for what they've done, and given a little more slack. Everyone screws up.
Yeah,
Everyone's going to make mistakes, and athletes aren't perfect in that sense. You can't expect, even the top athletes in their sports aren't going to make a great play or be perfect every game. They're humans. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to have off days, off games. It's just the way it is.
right. Yep.
So going back to your career here, got a little off track here, but that's always all right. In your second year, you had a great personally. And your team had a solid year too. But you played in 34 matches, and in those matches, you led the team in digs, and you were ninth in the nation in digs with 632. You were Louisiana Libero of the Year, among other awards. I know, a lot of athletes, I talk to them about their stats, and most people don't chase the stats. They're not out for that personal success, but it's nice when you get that personal success. It has to build your confidence and
Yeah.
make you feel good. So looking back on that year and kind of like the step you took from first year to second year, how do you kind of summarize that?
I think like sophomore year was kind of the year I found myself again. And like going back to the stats part, I didn't even know like I hit like 632 digs. Like I was just like out there playing free, like not even worried about it. And then I really didn't know I was ninth in the nation until my friend pointed it out. Like I didn't even know how you could look up your stats on the NCAA thing. So it was really just me playing free. And then on top of that, what really helped me was my teammates like encouraging me. And obviously I can't do my job unless the people around me do theirs. And then we
Right.
ended up we were first in the nation for a number of digs, like the whole team. So that was a big thing. So the fact that I was able to like contribute to that and then the team getting that bigger award, it was just awesome. And then I'm about to hit my 1,000th career dig. I might hit it tomorrow. I will hit it tomorrow at our game. So yeah, I think sophomore year was just my coming to life again
Yeah.
year. Found myself again, and I just really didn't care what people said. um I just was focused and on my grind, so it was fun, cool year.
It's probably better that you like didn't know about the stats, because that took a lot of the pressure off. I'm sure, like, you didn't have the pressure because you didn't know. You were just, like you said, you were playing free. If people would have been chirping in your ear like you got to hit this many to catch the person in front of you, or if you were looking at it, it would have
Hmm.
just added chaos. And
Yeah.
I'm sure
Hmm.
you wouldn't be saying the same things that you're saying right now about it being a fun year.
Yeah, like obviously I have goals and stuff. Like I think the career dig high for McNeese is like 2,148. Like I know that's my goal. I want to beat it. If I don't beat it, that's fine. I still want to
Yeah.
walk saying like I had a great season. But like only time I really knew if I how many digs I got per game was like if I got defensive player of the week and then did like an article on it or something. They said Bailey had 32 digs this game, blah blah blah. That's how I would know, and then I look up the stats then. But then other than that, I was like, okay, next game I gotta do better. Like I can beat that easy. So it was like
Yeah.
always for improvement. So
It's good to have goals, but you also don't want to like get so consumed that you make yourself miserable. Like you said, you want to have the goal, but if you don't hit it, like your life's not going to end. You can
correct.
still move on knowing that you tried your best and you had a good season.
Exactly.
So coming into this year, your team is you guys are struggling a little bit, but it almost seems like it's following I was kind of looking at last year to this year, a similar pattern to last year. You guys started off slow and then you kind of found something and you started to piece together more wins. Obviously you want to win every match you go into, but kind of looking at how this season is gone and kind of how last season's went, what do you think you guys need to do as a team to stay more, I guess, consistent? You've won a few in a row here and you've got something to build on. Momentum is awesome, obviously, but looking forward, what do you think you guys need to do as a team to keep winning?
I think to go back to your point about starting slow, we did start a little slow. Like our coach put us through a tough preseason. Like we played BYU, U of H, Auburn, like all these teams. But she's doing it for a good reason. Like obviously we played these teams and we got whooped some of them and some of them we stuck with them. It was like 25-23. Like it wasn't really that bad, but I think it has helped us so that when we do get in those conference games, it's like, okay, like we've seen way harder than this. Like we can handle this. So I think something that our team has lacked a little bit and it has gotten better would be like connection. And that's one of the things that we talk about every day at practice. Connection not only on the court but off the court too, because if you're not connecting off the court, then it's really really hard to connect on the court and get that trust from other people. And then also just like believing throughout the whole entire game, because if we're down 15-9, we can't play like the game's already over. Like there's still 10 points left in this game. They still have to earn 10 points left to get to 25. So just being consistent with our belief and then staying positive, and then once we have that lead, keep the lead and then finish it for 25 points. So
Yeah, those are all good goals to have. Being a cohesive unit, like you said, off the court, on the court, it's gonna help, and that's something that can be changed. And it's a long season for a reason. It's you play multiple matches across a season because teams can get better, they can improve. I guess I'm not sure how it works for volleyball, but when the end of the season rolls around, is there a conference tournament similar to basketball, or where everybody makes it and they seed the conference and then play for like a conference champion that goes to the tournament? Is that how it works?
yeah, I want to say it's the top 8 teams make it to the conference tournament, and then like you just play. Obviously, it's single elimination once you get to the tournament. But last year, Southeastern won the whole tournament, and then Houston Christian won the conference. So yeah, so it is similar to basketball where certain people make it, and then it's single elimination once you get there. So yeah.
So the goal is just basically to get into that conference tournament, because once you get there, anything can happen.
Yes, anything can happen because not always the person that wins conference is the one that wins the conference tournament. We've learned that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it happens all the time across athletics and a lot of sports. The favorites upsets. I mean, so
Exactly.
sometimes it's actually better to be the underdog because you have
No,
nothing to
yeah,
lose.
of course. Yeah, for sure.
Going
Yeah.
into, you're talking about playing some of those big teams.
Oh, yeah.
They're the ones that have something to lose, because if they
Mhm.
lose to you know
Yeah.
a smaller team, then they're the ones that are and then you got nothing to lose in a big game. What you if you give it your all and you lose, you're no worse off than you were before.
Exactly. You just got to walk away from that game knowing that you put everything on that court.
Yeah,
Fine. No
it's all you
regrets.
it's all you can do.
Exactly.
So let's talk about NIL a little bit. I know on your Instagram you had some videos kind of talking about it. What was that for specifically?
Yeah, so I got to participate in the Southland Conference Media Day for football. And my dad, he works for Fox, but they asked for him to like co-host and do everything for the conference. So I was just there doing like background media and stuff like that, behind the scenes stuff. And they wanted me to talk about this app that we use called Influencer, which is basically an app that has like NIL deals, and like has like a list of businesses in your area that may be interested in like partnering with local athletes and stuff like that. So they just asked me to talk about, my experience personally, how it's been getting those NIL deals, being at a smaller school. And I was just telling them how like I don't want the smaller schools or like the smaller what is say smaller schools and the athletes at smaller schools to think that they can't get NIL deals just because they are at, like an unknown school or whatever. Because I am a firm believer in like underdogs. We've talked about this, but I got my first real one with edible arrangements, and we've been working together. I get free smoothies every day for like the duration of my season. I'm on a billboard in my city. I get to host any event there that I want. I get certain discount off. Like it's just like you have to start small in order to get like big. Your first NIL deal is not going to be like $20 million. Like let's be serious. But I was just telling about like my experience and how I think that everyone should download the app. And it's just a great resource to have, especially if you want to get like your name out there. So that's what that was about.
Do you think that's like not well known across athletics? Like, do you think there's a fair number of athletes that don't know about these opportunities?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like there's people at my school that don't really know like what influencer is, and we literally like our school partners with influencers. So I'm like, how do you our conference partners with influencers? So I was like, you should know what it is. But we're actually working harder as like I'm the president of Student Athlete Advisory Committee. So we're working harder for like these athletes to like get their hands on this app and just like dive in deeper, to really learn about like what NIL deals can do for you and like your personal brand. So we're thinking about doing like a workshop. So I don't know what other schools are doing, but that's what we're doing
Yeah.
to get.
Well, that's good. You want everyone to have a same opportunity, the same chance. And yeah, like we talked about underdogs. I love underdogs. Like just I'm always rooting for the underdog in athletics. And I don't know, like when the Kentucky Derby run, I look at the horses race odds and I pick like one of the like bottom three usually. I don't know. I like underdogs. I don't like that team that's going for their third national championship in a row.
Yeah,
Like guys.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, it's is that app specific, to Division 1 athletes, or can people like Division 2, Division 3, try to connect with that kind of stuff?
I want to say it's with any division, but I think it just matters on if your conference is like partnered with them or not.
Yeah.
Influencers also use for like social media, like pictures and stuff. Like, say if you have media day, whoever took those pictures will upload the pictures onto the app and it'll like tag your name. So, like, you'll only get the pictures that you're in, not like someone else. So you don't have to like scroll through them. So, I think that's helpful too. I don't know if I want to say it's multiple divisions, like Division 1, doesn't matter division. But I think it just matters if your conference is partnered with them in order for you to have access to it.
I
So,
think there's other platforms similar,
mm,
so I guess if there's any athletes listening to it, it'd be worth talking to people within your athletic department to see if your school has any opportunities for NIL. I mean, it's worth a shot to ask. I'm sure most schools have something now, and you're not going to know unless you ask about it.
exactly.
So let's go into a few just kind of non-athletic things here. Like, what's your favorite food?
Oh, favorite food? I'd probably say Asian food. I love me some fried rice. Shrimp fried rice is so good.
Yeah.
Either that or pizza, but I only like one pizza place. I don't know if where are you from?
I'm from Michigan, so
Okay.
not even close.
Um, do y'all have a Grimaldi's?
Nope.
Oh, well, Grimaldi's is my favorite pizza place. It's like brick oven pizza. It's so good.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
other than that, yeah, you can't go wrong with Asian food. It's so good. So
Do you have a place, near you that you go for some good fried rice, or do you have to go back
uh,
home or for some really good fried rice?
yeah, there's one like literally everything in like Charles is 5 minutes away. Let's get that across. There's one 5 minutes away called Wasabi, and my teammates love it. Everyone loves it. We go there, and then I get sushi there too. So it's good. I love it.
Yeah. And you said you're from Texas?
Yeah, I'm from Sugarland, but I just say Houston because sometimes people don't know Sugarland.
Yeah.
Sugarland, Texas.
There's got to be some good Asian restaurants in Houston. I mean, it's a bigger
Oh
city.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We have like a lot of stuff is like downtown. Like there's a ramen place called Ramen Tatsuya, which is really good. I don't know if you're a big ramen person. Um, Payway is always good. We don't have a Payway here. Um, but yeah, Houston has a lot of good food. Does Michigan have good food?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what a payway is.
You don't know what Payway is?
No, what is that?
How do you think it's spelled, first off?
It's definitely not spelled the way I think it should be based on you asking that question. I mean, I want to just say Payway.
Nope, it's Peiwei. Payway.
I would not have guessed that. I was thinking maybe like PAI or something, but not PE. I wouldn't have got that.
Yeah, Payway's good. It's just in there, like they have like bourbon chicken, like orange chicken, like the regular stuff, but kind of like a Panda Express on steroids.
Yeah, I know what Panda Express
There you go. Yeah. So
but I guess we have good food in Michigan. It's probably just different,
mm.
like
My teammates
different.
from Michigan.
No, like downstate. I'm from the UP, Michigan, so probably still not even close to where your teammates from.
I'm gonna ask her and get back with you on that one. I don't know where she definitely has an accent though. She has an accent. So
Well, I guess all people like more northern have like a different access. Like we're kind of close to Canada. Like I
mhm.
think when I was younger, I was in Tennessee once, and then the waitress at a restaurant asked if we were Canadian. Like, no, we're from Michigan.
That's funny.
They thought we had a Canadian accent. So, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do for fun?
Hobbies. I love singing. My whole family is like very musical. We either sing or play an instrument or like can dance. I like to write. Um, I love editing videos. I'm currently in a storytelling class. So we like edit videos a lot. And then I like taking pictures, so photography and social media, like TikToking and stuff like that. I don't take it seriously, but I like video. Like I love videotaping stuff and like editing it. I just think it's so cool. So
Yeah. What kind of stuff do you write? Just like, do you like write
uh,
stories or poems, or do you just like write a journal for fun every day, or
yeah, I used to do like diary, like journal entries like to myself and just write about like how my day was, but then it would like turn into like not like a poem, but like it would be more like sentimental. And I'm like, wow, like that sounds good. Like I could be a writer. Because I at first my when I came into college, it was my major is still mass communication, but it was a concentration in journalism. I just switched my concentration. So we would write a lot like newspaper writing class, like stuff like that. But I was like, I'm gonna get more like sentimental and write about my stuff because I couldn't always vent to people. I would just write it. So,
yeah. Sometimes
um,
it's hard to put things in words. It's easier to put it on
mhm,
paper.
exactly. Exactly.
You could do like poetry TikToking.
Oh no, I don't think I could do poetry. I always see like the poetry slam, like and they like snap and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
You're more like you want to like take some time and just like
Oh
kind
yeah.
of let it not just on the spot ripping it out.
Yes. Yes, exactly. We got
What about music? You said you like to sing. What kind of music do you like to listen to?
I love R&B. Beyonce. I didn't get to go to her concert, but love Beyonce. SZA, big SZA girl. Her, and I also like oldies. I still listen to Michael Jackson. Um, and then as far as like singing, I like a lot of gospel music. Especially like when I can't go to church here. Um, I like to listen to gospel music. So
Do you guys have a team playlist? Or
yeah. Oh,
like do you guys share the aux cord? Like people take turns, or is it like the set playlist every game?
we have a playlist, and you know who's in charge of the music? I'm in charge of the music. And it's like we have like multiple different playlists. So like one is for like the weight room, one is for like pregame, one is for like I don't know, like if we're just like chilling in the locker room. Obviously, one's clean, one's unclean around the coaches. So sorry if you're watching this, but yeah, we have like multiple playlists. So
I'm sure they know. I mean,
oh
they'd
yeah,
have to be
I'll probably hear
really
it from the bathroom,
oblivious
honestly.
if they didn't just
Yeah.
know. So would
Yeah.
you say that you're the best singer on the team?
Oh yeah. If we went down the line, yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
If you're like a sing off on the team, you would win it.
Yeah, they get mad at me. Like whenever a song comes on, they'll be trying to sing, and I'll just be like, I'll just belt it, and they'll be like, okay, no one asked you to sing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll
Like
never
thanks for making us feel bad about ourselves.
exactly.
Like
Literally.
what about your dream vacation spot? You could go anywhere in the world, like right now. Where would you go?
Mm, dream vacation. I was talking to my sister about going to the Dominican Republic. I feel like the water's so like blue, and I want to
Yeah.
experience, I want to experience it. I'm tired of seeing Galveston dirty water. Like, I want to go somewhere like far. And I've never been out of the country, so I want to go.
Yeah. Travel the world.
Yeah, exactly.
There's not
Especially when
enough
I'm in college, because I don't have to
there's
worry
not
about
enough time or money though to
it. Yeah.
travel everywhere. Like, it's kind of depressing. I think about all the places I want to go, and I'm like, I'm never gonna get to half of these.
I know I see people all the time, like Fiji, one person's in Fiji, one person's in Mexico. I'm like, and I'm in Louisiana. So,
Yeah,
so
well, at least you're not like seeing that and you're like, oh, and I'm in Michigan where there's 10 feet of snow outside and they're
oh
sitting
man,
on a
that's
beach. Like,
true. I don't
that's
experience
even,
the snow part. I like we get heat, lots of
yeah.
heat. So
Isn't there snow like once in a while in Texas? There'll be like a storm or something, or is it ice storm sometimes?
yeah, we'll get like hail, like, and it'll be like ice, but it won't be snow. I think last time we had snow was like 2 years ago, I think. Yeah. And then like in Louisiana, it'll get cold, maybe like to the like 30s, high 30s, and that's about it. And I don't think it's ever gotten like 10 or something. So
Yeah, we don't have it as bad as like Minnesota gets super cold, but there were times where in high school, I mean, they would cancel school because it was too cold. The wind
yeah.
chill would be like 30 to
Mhm.
50 below, or and it was just like
Yeah.
if you're standing outside for 2 minutes, you get frostbite.
Yeah. In Texas, they would cancel our school if it was like 40 degrees. I'm like, that's like people have it way worse than us. They literally have snow whenever they walk outside. So,
Yeah,
um, but yeah,
I like snow, but like only for like December and January. Like 2 months of it is good, and then I get sick of it.
yeah, it's enough. 2 months is good.
What's your favorite non-volleyball sport?
Mm. To watch or to play?
Both.
Okay, to watch, I enjoy watching basketball. And I used to play basketball, so there's a connection there. I played it like middle school, but it was like so fun because it was middle school. Like you have nothing to.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna take it serious. But I like watching basketball because a lot of like, believe it or not, a lot of the moves are like volleyball, like defense wise. Like you have to get low and like you have to be very conditioned to play because you're running up and down the court. But I don't know, it's exciting for me, and it's indoors, so it's like
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah,
So you're
probably
saying you could hoop it up right now if you had to?
if I had a hoop right there, I would just go. Yeah,
Yeah. Part-time volleyball, part-time basketball,
yeah.
part-time TikTok and poetry.
Hmm. Exactly. I do it all.
Yeah, hey, you got to master everything you do. That's the way to do life, right?
Yes. Yes.
Do you have any I know you mentioned the digs, you're chasing kind of the digs record, but do you have any kind of personal or team goals for this year?
Yeah. So we have personal goals. I would say I wanted to get higher than I was last year. So when I get 632, I was trying to go higher than that. Obviously, if I don't get it, it's not the end of the world. Um, I do have a personal goal of getting Southland Conference Libero of the Year. But obviously that comes with the team success. Team goals, we want to make history. So McNeese hasn't won a conference title since like 1996 or something like that, and it's 2023. So it's time for some history to be made. So probably that, and then I'd say yeah, honestly, winning conference title first. We gotta do that before we get anywhere else. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a good goal. I hope you guys go conquer them all.
yeah, no, for sure. Especially being the underdog.
Yeah, like I said, like we talked about, it's the best place to be.
Yep.
And people like underdogs. Well, most people do. I feel like there's probably some weird people out there that don't like underdogs, but I feel like most people like to root for the underdogs. When the underdogs win, it makes people happy. There's like, I don't know, when the favorites win, it's kind of like, well, they were the favorites.
Yeah.
So
It's like,
where's the
hey,
fun in that?
better win for whoever.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, awesome. Well, thanks for coming on this episode of the podcast. Second volleyball player we've had on the podcast. So thank you. Good luck with the rest of your season. Good luck with those goals, and hopefully you guys can see it through.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.